He was just a teenager when he went into prison for a murder he repeatedly said he did not commit. Today, Myon Burrell is a grown man and also a free man. I first sat down with Myon in prison back in February. Tonight, Myon is thanking his supporters and all those who helped him get what he calls long overdue justice. Myon Burrell has waited 18 years for this. After spending more than half of his life in prison, the 34-year-old is finally a free man.
So everybody that came out and supported me, man, I can't even explain my gratitude. All my supporters, and y'all keep on pushing, man. It's too much injustice going on.
He was just a teen when he was sent to prison for life. And it wasn't until September of last year that his case received heightened attention when Senator Amy Klobuchar was running for president and mentioned it on the national stage. The ACLU's legal director in Minnesota has said that you showed no interest in racial justice. Do you wish now that you had done more?
That's not my record. The cases that came to us, the African-American community that came to us, they said there was no justice for their little kids. There was a kid named Byron Phillips that was shot on his front porch. We found the shooter and we put him in jail. We did the same for the killer of a little girl named Tyisha Edwards who was doing her homework at her kitchen table and was shot through the window.
That answer about the killer of Tyisha Edwards got the attention of the Associated Press, prompting a year-long investigation that ultimately found flaws and inconsistencies with the police investigation.
I started kind of just hitting the pavement and talking to, everyone I could talk to.
On Tuesday, after begging for his own release for nearly 2 decades, the State Pardons Board commuted Myon Burrell's sentence.
I come before you, a 34-year-old man who spent more than half of his life incarcerated for a crime I didn't commit.
This ugly scar, exposed and time-tested, lingering like an open wound, a constant reminder of the gaping hole that a stray bullet left in this community in November of 2002 after it penetrated this home across the street. Inside, an 11-year-old little girl named Tyisha Edwards doing her homework at the dining room table.
And I ran in, tried to call 911. I didn't know if I should do CPR or not. I just knew she was laying on the floor. And then when they brought her out, she was passed away.
Outrage erupted in the black community, with mounting pressure on the police department to find her killer. 4 days after Tyisha's death, police said they had tracked down her killer.
16-year-old gang member Myon Burrell fired a gunshot into their home. A bullet hit Tyisha in the chest.
I talked with Myon in prison back in February when he once again insisted he was innocent. Myon, a lot of people say that they're innocent. Why should people believe you?
I've always let people know that I was innocent. It's just now that I have a voice. But it's not about what I tell people to make them believe, but what people could see for themselves. You know what I mean? Like, go and look into it, and then you tell me if you believe that I'm innocent.
That's exactly what Robin McDowell, a Pulitzer Prize-winning reporter, did as part of her own investigation. Why do you believe Myon?
Well, I didn't go into the investigation thinking he was innocent for sure. I did believe that when a lot of inmates, friends and rivals, were saying that they believed he was innocent, that he was worth looking into.
Among those she talked to, Ike Tyson, who has said for years that he was the killer, not Myon.
He shot an innocent girl, now an innocent guy, and at the time he was a kid, is locked up for something he didn't do. So it's like I'm carrying 2 burdens.
Without a gun, fingerprints, or DNA, the case against Myon largely relied on testimony from a teen rival who changed his story several times about who he said he saw at the crime scene. He has since died. The investigation questioned police tactics caught on camera, like this interrogation video where an investigator offers $500 for names of potential suspects, even for hearsay from someone who said he knew nothing about the crime.
I just signed out $1,000 about 2 hours ago, and I can keep signing until I get that names.
During his time in prison, he not only lost the chance to parent his son, he also lost his mother, who died on her way home from visiting Myon in prison. In May of 2003, a jury convicted Myon of first-degree murder. You could have taken a plea deal. If you had, you'd be out already.
Yeah.
Why haven't you?
Well, I mean, so it hurts to know that you. It hurts to know that you could be out right now. That I could put in an appeal and say, hey, listen, give me less time and let me out right now. But then I would be taking responsibility for a crime that I didn't commit. And I could never do that.
In 2005, 2 years after he was found guilty, the Minnesota Supreme Court overturned Myon's conviction. But the head prosecutor at the time, Hennepin County Attorney Amy Klobuchar, immediately vowed to retry Myon. Burrell was tried again and found guilty by a judge in 2008, a conviction that has been upheld on appeal. By the time of his trial, Klobuchar had left the prosecutor's office for the U.S. Senate. Late yesterday, Klobuchar released this statement on Burrell's release, saying, "This was the right and just decision, and I thank the Pardon Board for their work." The Hennepin County Prosecutor's Office told ABC News in February Burrell's alibi has changed 3 times during and since his trials. He confessed his involvement to a cousin and a jail informant. It was common practice for police to offer cash rewards in unsolved cases.
I lost my childhood in this place. I've been in here since I was a teen, all of my 20s, my 30s. So I don't think that it was really like anything personal against me. I think that it was more so for them to put out that they're doing their job or that they secured a conviction.
So you think you were just as much of an unintended target as Tyisha?
Well, that's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. So to me, it's an injustice all the way around the board. For one, they didn't actually give Tyisha or her family justice by pursuing the truth.
The brother of Tyisha Edwards is now expressing frustration about the Pardon Board's decision.
I'm hurt. I feel like the justice system failed our family. So who's the victim here? My sister doesn't get to live a life.
This is not in any way, shape, or form me trying to minimize the tragedy of the loss of 11-year-old Tyisha Edwards. My heart goes out to her family as well as everybody else that was affected by her murder. I've done everything in my power to always uphold a righteous character and never allow my situation and circumstance to dictate the way I live my life.
One bright spot during his time in prison, Myon got married. Years later, finally getting to spend time with his wife for the first time as a free man, and a son who last hugged his father outside of a jail cell when he was 1 year old.
I've been waiting for this for all my life, since I've been 1 year old. You can't nothing take that away from me. Now the fact he's here, he ain't going back.
Interesting also to note that Myon had to make his own defense case on that Zoom call yesterday because his attorney unexpectedly was unable to join.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.